Hi, welcome to our podcast, Rose Opal Knits.
I'm Daphne.
And I'm Erica. And I just wanted to say hello to all our new subscribers. We're so happy you're here. And thank you for subscribing and liking. And if you're new today, we hope you stay around and like what you see. And I just wanted to say thank you to two special ladies. We had shout outs. Two shout outs within the last couple of weeks. One was from Vanessa of the A Historian Knits podcast, and the other shout out was from Amy of a Noble Character Crafts podcast. And so we just want to say, hey Vanessa and Amy, thanks for saying nice things about us and sending people over here to check us out. We really appreciate it. And if you're not watching either of those podcasts, you should definitely check them out, because they're great. So anyway, I hope everybody's doing well, and I won't be super chatty in the beginning. We'll just, start with the knitting. And there's something a little different today, but I'll explain that.
I have no idea what she's talking about.
Yes, you do.
I don't know right now, okay?
I'll explain that when we get to that part of the podcast episode, when we get there. Okay, so we're going to start with finished objects. I don't have any. Daphne has.
I have 3.
Yeah.
But 2 of them are really small, and 2 of them are the same thing. But, so, the reason I decided to make these was mainly because I had a doctor's appointment today, and I didn't have a face mask, and Holden only has one, and, I don't want to wear his because he wears it to work around a bunch of people. So, I went online and looked up knitted face masks. That's literally just what I searched. Knit face mask patterns or whatever. And so I found this one, and it is by Michelle Greenberg. And the name of the pattern and everything will be in the show notes or whatever.
Down below.
Yeah. So this is my first one. And you're actually supposed to wear it with, so it's like stockinette in this, and then there's a garter section, like a border. Basically. That's what my words were. But, so I just use scraps of yarn, because I have a lot of worsted weight yarn anyways, and that's what the pattern calls for. So this is the first one, and I know this is Lion's brand. This is the yarn that I made Holden and Mason's hats out of. But I think they fit my face good. I'm an average sized person. So
I was thinking of Mason's head.
I'm pretty sure I put this one on him. So this one, okay, so I have 2. So.
And then that one's a different yarn, or?
Yeah, this one is Cotton Fair. It's a white and the gray held double, because it's actually only a sport weight yarn. But, so like I said,
Cotton Fair? I've never heard of that. Where's that from?
It's a craft store yarn.
Oh, like Michael's?
I like it, yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
I mean, I have more to show later, but not right now. But, so.
Like I'm pushing you out of the... There we go.
Anyways, this one's Cotton Fair. This one is Lion's brand, and I prefer to wear them backwards, because when you seam them together, you're supposed to do a 3-needle bind off. It's a free pattern, so it's fine for me to say that. But it's a 3-needle bind off right in the center, and I didn't like that being on my nose, because I do have a nose ring. I don't know if, I'm sure you guys have seen it, but still, I didn't want that on my nose ring. Mainly, it made my nose feel weird, and I didn't like it, so I wear them inside out. But
yeah,
it's just super simple.
Knit myself one. We're still under a stay-at-home order here in Delaware until May 15th for right now,
as far as we know.
Yeah, the governor is going to have a town hall tonight, so I'm sure there'll be an update. And so yes, we're still under stay-at-home order. So Daphne and I. And the younger kids really aren't going out anywhere. Daphne goes to her doctor's appointments. I have not left the house. Anyway, we're not going to get into that. A lot of us are in the same boat. But once the stay-at-home order is lifted, we're still all going to be required. It'll be mandatory to wear face masks until further notice. So I should knit myself a couple too. And
they're really
kids.
simple. I mean, like, this one took me a little longer to do because I was reading the pattern and doing it. I did not have to look at the pattern again for this one.
Mm-hmm.
So, plus
That's
this
how
one's a
simple
little
they
bit
are.
bigger, but it's probably because I held 2 sport weights double. But I don't know. I think this is a pretty good pattern because it hits like halfway through my nose, and like, I mean, you don't want it all the way up your nose, obviously, but then it actually comes down under my chin. But the way that you do it, when you pull these, it tightens it. Mm-hmm. So it goes in, and then you can just loosen it. So it actually like hugs down here too. Like, I don't think it's a bad pattern, and I don't know. So if you need face masks, this one's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's really simple. Like, I think I spent half an hour, honestly, just knitting that one. Mm-hmm. This one probably took me like an hour, just because I was trying to figure it out.
Used to the pattern.
Yeah, I don't know. And it's knit on a US size 4. And I didn't do gauge. I just knit it on a size 4.
Yeah, well, you're not really gonna.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, face mask.
But yeah, so I got those 2, and I'm planning to make more, but we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Okay. So what's your next finish?
So, I've been working on this forever. The ends are not woven in because I was going to block it yesterday, but then I finished it too late in the day to block it and have it finished by today. But I finished the rug, and that's my little progress keeper. So, and it's not exactly 2 patterned because I held 2 sport weight yarns together. It is the Noro yarn. Hold on. Grab the same color. So these are the colors. This is 1 and this is 9. And so the parts that I changed, all of this top part is the same, and then at the bottom I added more of the red because I had more of that yarn. And one sleeve, the first sleeve, because I had to alter it because I had to change the decreases and add the red in. One sleeve, I swear I worked on it for like 4 days. And then I did the body in like a day. And then the other sleeve in a day. So it was just like one sleeve helped me out because I had to figure it out. But yeah, so it actually fits me pretty well. Even over
Looks good.
a huge pregnant belly, even though it's not huge, but yeah.
I don't know if you can see that, but she didn't just, put it in with a line. She kind of, like did a little bit more stranded color work with like little points, like triangles.
It has, okay, so this bigger section of color work up top has little triangles in it, so I just took that and added it to the bottom for the red. Because I didn't want it to...
You can see it right there on the sleeve.
Yeah, I didn't want it to just go straight into the red, so I wanted something. So it's a little hard to see, but it's also just a little hard to see the different colors anyways, which I'm fine with, so.
But it's very thick. I'm so curious to see what it's going to be like once it's washed and blocked. I bet you it's going to soften up.
I'm going to block it after this.
Yeah.
If I weave in the ends, but I don't know if I'm feeling it.
If you weave in the ends.
Whatever.
That's funny. She was like, I don't feel like sewing these ends in.
I don't want to.
I
don't want to. Like, I'm not going to wear it. It's like thick, but then it's like so warm because it's a wool, silk, mohair blend. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't really look like mohair that much.
It's pretty.
So.
I really like it. Well, because it's blended in. It's
I know.
Not just, yeah. But I mean, you can definitely see it in spots like right there.
Yeah, I know. So this yarn has so many variations in it, but I'm fine with that. I don't. What am I trying to say? I don't alternate skeins of yarn or anything when I knit. So.
Oh, well, you can't really tell on that one.
I know, because I held it double, so it's gonna look different, anyways. But I don't alternate, and I don't really mind the pooling. I know some people do, but I don't.
Well, I mean, and yarns pool differently, so sometimes you don't know how it's gonna pool until you actually knit it up.
So far, I haven't mind how any of the sweaters, because I mean, Lorene's pooled really bad in some spots. The first sweater,
and it didn't bother her either. So
she actually liked it a lot. So did I. So
I mean, I think it's all personal choice. It's we don't.
Yeah,
We
I
don't
know.
knit our garments to please everybody else.
Oh.
You know, we knit them for ourselves, or if we're gifting it, obviously.
I
we
will
want
say
the
this. So
recipient
this
to
is my
like it.
basket. It just lived in this basket this entire time. And that's all my yarn left. And this isn't like a small basket, okay? So
You know what she's going to do with it.
we're going to try to make baby one. So, oh, and if you're curious, I used, I don't know. Hold on. I don't know where it is on these. There it is. It's a US 8. So, and these are my 12-inch circular triangles. So, yeah. That's my sweater.
Alrighty. Okay, so I have 2 half-finished objects. So we'll talk about this one first. Actually, no. We'll talk about this one first because it was closer to being finished last episode.
Show you that close.
So that is the Socks for Dumbledore pattern by Kay Litton, the crazy sock lady. And it is on, I'm knitting it with the Yarnbrary. Yeah, the Yarnbrary, Handsome Enough to Tempt Me. On the Sci-Fi Sparkle Base, 75 merino, 20% nylon, 5% stellina. And so I was at the toe last episode, and this is where I am on the second sock. So just in the cuff, I have a couple more rounds of the knit 2 purl 2 ribbing, but I really enjoy that pattern. And I think I mentioned in the last episode that I didn't have enough rounds for another the repeats in here, so then I just did like ribbing in like a purl knit ribbing, but it was knit through the back loop to match the size here. So, and then my other half finished object is this sock, and this is where I was the last time I showed it. And that is the Fizz sock by Emily Clawson, and she is the dyer of the Yarnbrary yarn that I'm knitting this sock with. And this yarn is Candy Shop yarn, and the colorway is Festival Fizz, and that is the simple syrup base. Yeah, simple syrup base, 80% superwash merino and 20% nylons. And Candy Shop Yarns she's no longer dyeing yarn right now. And oh, I should have shown that. I'll show it in the cake. So that's the other one in the cake. And then here's this one in the cake. And here I am on the second sock. So I've just started the little eyelet. I started the eyelet. Yeah, I just started that. I'm out of the cuff and I'm now into the eyelet pattern. So yeah. And that's that. Do you have something you want to show now, or I have
Do you
another?
have more socks?
I have another sock.
I have a sock too.
Okay.
Here, I'll show mine.
Okay.
Mine's funny looking right now because
Oh, my yarn's going down the stairs. Rolled right down the stairs. Anyway, I'll
this
get
is
that.
a whole line of yarn going down the stairs. Anyways, so I don't know where I was. This marker is not where I was. I think I was a little bit above it. But this marker is just where my heel starts, so I can just count the rows and knit down. But these are the Hermione's Everyday Socks, and it's Picks Stroll.
Hand painted.
I couldn't remember the rest of it. It's a long name.
Sunny afternoon.
It's Sunny Afternoon, yeah.
Okay.
But don't think they have this yarn anymore anyways, so it's okay. But anyways, so I did the heel. That's why it looks funny. I have not picked it up yet. But so the only thing I did with the sock is, it went out of focus, whatever. Anyway, so I added the pattern actually into the heel flap. So the little...
Yeah, because she always does, I do slip stitch heels, and she always does stockinette heels.
Yeah.
So you added the
I just kept going with the pattern.
Yeah, with the pattern into the,
Well, I mean, it was really simple because every other row, you just knit a row anyway. So on the sides that you purl back, I just purled it and then did the pattern on the knit side. So it was really simple to do it. But yeah, so the pattern goes onto the heel. But I didn't do much of it. I think I did like 4 rows and then the heel flap. And that's it. So, but it lives in my little bag from AC Moore. And this is the yarn in the cake. Starting to fall apart. Not really, just a little bit. But yeah, that's my sock.
All right.
That's the only one I have this time. I don't even know where your yarn went, do you?
It's right here. And so my next sock whip is just living in this, I think it's a makeup bag.
It looks like one.
Yeah. And it is Clark and Elle, and it is the April Yarn Club 2020. It's called Watercolors, and it is a 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon base. It is the Strong DK base. And
Mason woke up from his nap.
oh,
He wasn't happy apparently.
and here it is. So this pattern is modified. That's I modified this pattern from the Jemima pattern by Kay Jones of the Bakery Bears. So Kay's pattern, Jemima, is written with this stitch pattern. I don't know if you can see it well because the yarn is very variegated, and it's written to go all the way around the sock. But I'm just doing it on the front of the leg because for me, that is like the perfect sock, is to just have, you know, like a nice fun pattern to do on the front, and to just, then when you get to the back side of the leg, you're like, okay, stuck in it. You know, it keeps it interesting, but it also keeps it easy. So I did have to modify the pattern to center it. So it's got, on both sides of it, it's got, I just purl here, and then the pattern's centered in these, and the pattern, the Jemima pattern is also written for fingering weight. This is DK weight. So I cast on 48 stitches instead of 56, 64, or 72. So that was easy enough. And I think I'm gonna do one more pattern repeat, which is 4 rounds, and then I'm gonna start the heel. But I'm really enjoying it, and I love this yarn. I love this base. I love the way it feels when I'm knitting it. It's kind of springy. And so I ordered the May Club color from Clark and Elle. I'll show you that when it comes. I think she has it up still until May 8th. What day? It's May 4th, Monday, May 4th today, and I think she has the May color inspiration photo up on her Etsy shop until May 8th. So if you want to get one, you can go purchase one too. But I think it's going to be pretty. Colors were pretty.
Do you have any more?
I just have one more.
Okay. I'll show mine. But my Tecumseh body is off the needles too. So it looks short. It's really not. It looks short in person. It doesn't look short on the screen. But I knit the second size, I think. I'm pretty sure. But the colors are Yosemite, and they're all Lions brand Heartland. So this is Yosemite. This one's falling apart, but this is Grand Canyon, and then the black is just Black Canyon. So, I mean, I've been talking about this sweater, so it's really simple. Hold on, all my ends are just sticking out the front. Anyway, so I was here, and that was, so you don't separate for the sleeves until after this repeat of the color work. And then there's only one more repeat of the color work, and then you're done. Well, then you just knit stockinette for a little bit, and then you're done with it. That's about all I did.
It's very pretty.
But
and that's your maple bacon. That's her maple.
Yes,
bacon.
maple bacon donut stitch marker. But again, when I bought this yarn, the tan, I overbought it, and I have a bunch of it. And so to make this size, I needed 3 balls of the orangish color, so the Yosemite, and the black barely takes any yarn. So I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have enough to make a baby version of it, just with flip-flop colors, like different ways. Like I think the tan's gonna have to be the main color for a baby sweater, but so we're gonna try to make a rug and a Tecumseh for her also.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's fun.
We will see.
All right, and my last knitting whip is my Sunset Highway sweater. So the last time I showed it, I was right here, and this is the back, because that's the short rows for the neck shaping. But I got the entire colorwork portion knit, and now I'm just working the body color. And I think I probably have like 2 more inches before I split for the sleeves. I have to look at the pattern again, but I'm very happy with it. I think these colors look
I like the colors
pretty together. But yeah, I'm really excited to get it finished, and I'll just hold it close. Oh. So there they are. And I'll tell you about the colors. So the main color in the yoke is Queen City yarn, the Queen's Road MCM base, 80% superwash merino, 10% cashmere, and 10% nylon. The color is French Roast. And then the first contrast color is this colorway from Willow Tree Yarns. The lighting is funny today. It's on the Royal Base 85-15 base. So it's 85% superwash merino and 15% nylon, and the colorway is Vintage Blooms.
So it looks tannish on the camera to us. It's more white.
No, it
looks like it's more white than it's showing up on
it's
camera.
Lighter,
yeah,
but it's not white.
Yeah.
So the next here,
I mean, like it's
we'll hold it up. So this is the color for the body, and this is like a cream, and it is.
It's like it's kind of showing up more vintagey looking than it actually is in person. But I mean, like there. You can kind of see it, but then you can't really see the yarn.
So the main body, the yarn I'm using for the main body is Dale Garn, Dale Baby Wool. So here that is, and oh, there you probably might want to see that. And so if you see them side by side, that's what it's like. When I look at this color, what I see is like a peachy cream. So.
Yeah. It's just not as dark as it's showing up on camera, at least to us. It might show up fine later, but.
And then the last, that's not it. The last contrast color is this color by Willow Tree Yarn. It's on the same base. It's not the tag. I had the tag and then I lost the tag. It's here. Willow Tree Yarn. The Royal Base, 85% superwash merino, 15% nylon, and the color is Orchid. So it's really pretty. And I'm really happy with it. I think it's turning out lovely. And So we are both knitting our Colorwork sweaters as part of our Colorwork SweaterKal that we're hosting on Instagram. And we've had a couple more people who have joined the Cal, our knit along, on Instagram by using the hashtag ROK, colorworksweaterkal. So we're really excited that you're knitting along with us. And actually, we, another subscriber, hi Jan, she left us a comment saying that she had recently finished some projects and she cast it on a Colorwork sweater and she had forgotten how fun they were to knit, but that she wasn't on Instagram, but she wanted to let us know that she was knitting along with us. So we think that's fantastic. We're so happy to have you knitting along with us in spirit, but it also made us think about how not everyone is on Instagram, and we discussed it, and we just wanted to throw this out there. If there's not any interest, that's fine. We're completely fine with that. But we just thought, we talked about the different platforms. You know, obviously we're on YouTube right now, and we are on Instagram, but we're not anywhere else. We both have a Facebook that we use. Neither of us spend like a lot of time on, you know, the social media platforms. You could probably tell that by our Instagram. But we thought that, you know, like I said, we just throw this out there. If there's interest, we'll do it. But if not, then we won't do it. And you can let us know in the comments below. But we're thinking, we discussed Ravelry and we discussed Facebook, and neither of us really we're both on Ravelry. But we just don't use it. And I personally, I am in a couple groups on Ravelry, but I don't know, I just kind of think the format's kind of clunky, and I know not everybody is on Ravelry.
I also don't know how to use like Ravelry groups or anything like that. Like, I only go on there for patterns and then I go off.
Yeah.
So I don't really know how to use that. I know how to use Facebook and I can do Instagram.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't really spend much time on either of them. So.
Yeah. So, and like I said, not everybody's on Ravelry, and I know that not everybody's on Facebook either, but I have through the years have been a member of Facebook groups and, you know, moderated my own Facebook groups for, you know, various different things. And so we decided that it would be easier to start a Facebook group if there was any interest in that. I think for me, the main reason would be that Facebook has an app that you can use that notifies you if, you know, something's going on in the group. If you set it up that way to have it notify you, whereas Ravelry, you have to remember to go there and check it. But anyway, long story short, if you're interested in, you know, joining a Rose Opal Knits Facebook group, we would start one and love to have you there. And then that could also be a way that you could knit along for our current knit along and any knit alongs that we have in the future.
I mean, this knit along doesn't even end until June 15th.
Yeah.
So it's not like.
Yeah, you've got time.
Time to do it or anything.
Yeah. Yeah, you've got time. If there were, I mean, even if one person said, "Hey, yeah, I'd love to join you in a Facebook group," I'd say, "Okay, I'll start a group, and you know, we'll let you in." So, but I just think personally, for both of us, it would be easier to manage a Facebook group. And
I feel like we would actually use it more than going on Ravelry too, because I mean, neither of us really use Ravelry like that, so it's like Facebook's easier because it's going to be on your phone and it notifies you. So.
I don't think I ever like used the forums and Ravelry ever. I mean, it's just Ravelry for me. It's been something that I've used more frequently and less frequently, like ebb and flows through the years, and I haven't done a project page. I think I've updated a couple project pages in the last year, but I don't think I've actually started one since, you know, for a while. But anyway, so we wanted to throw that out there. More, if you need any extra information about the knit along, you can that information is down below. And also, we announced it. The title of that episode is like our first knit along. And then we also have information on our Instagram page. So, and if you can't find the information, our email is always down below, and you can email us or leave a comment, and we'll be happy to get back to you. But so here's the new thing, the new old thing. Somebody's walking around down there. That I mentioned in the very beginning that Daphne looked scared about.
I think I know what it is now.
So I mentioned Vanessa of a Historian Knits podcast in the very beginning, and she shows when she has updated or when she's made progress on her project. She does cross stitch, and do you want me to pause it?
No.
Okay.
I think Holden brought Mason up.
Oh. And
that's what it sounded like.
Yeah. And so my first hobby was cross stitch. I started cross stitching in 4th grade, and I cross stitched on and off from 4th grade until 2015. And then after 2015, I didn't pick up any cross stitch at all. But seeing Vanessa's cross stitch, made me want to look at my cross stitch stash. And so I pulled it all out, and I actually got rid of a lot of it because my aunt had given me a bunch of her cross stitch stash probably 30 years ago. So I'm 44. So she gave it to me about 30 years ago, and it was all stored in like a plastic drawer. It wasn't a sealed plastic container. It was a plastic drawer. It wasn't airtight. And the floss wasn't kept in plastic. Her linens weren't kept in plastic, which there wasn't a lot of linen in there. But so when I opened that drawer, and we had before we moved here, we lived in a 100-year-old farmhouse, and that plastic drawer was stored up in our attic, which wasn't temperature controlled. So a lot of that stuff smelled old, like in a bad way. And so I ended up just throwing it out. I'm sure 30-year-old floss could be good to use if it's stored properly, but that I just hadn't stored it properly. And so my cross stitch stash is now what I have left over from projects that I did in 2014 and 2015. So it's not very big. But
I don't know what they're doing.
Sounds like they're going back downstairs. Anyway.
I don't know why they came up for a minute anyways.
So I pulled this project. This is the only actually active project I had going that I kept. The rest of them, like I said, got thrown out. And but I pulled this out, and I spent some time cross-stitching on it this weekend. And it is the Dimensions Gold Collection, oh, you can't see that, Petites, and it's called Robin's Nest. So I pulled this out, and it's on 16 count Aida, and I stored it in a hoop for 5 years. It was in a hoop. So when I took it out, so you can see the hoop line, but I did try to iron it. I think if I wash it and then iron it, the hoop line will go away. I hope it'll go away, but I don't know. So anyway, that's how much I have done now. This weekend, I didn't do a lot on it this weekend, but I did some of the shading up here, and I filled in some of the nest. But so after watching Vanessa's episode where she showed her Halloween cross stitch, I kind of went crazy and went looking for a floss tube, which that's what it's called. Cross stitching YouTube is called floss tube, and I have spent all my free time watching floss tube, and I am hooked. So I'm not going to give up my knitting. Obviously, I love that, but I am, cross stitch is I'm really excited about it right now. So I'm going to be working on that too. But so in the cross stitch community, they have something called Mania, the month of May, and everybody does it different, but basically you like do a lot of cross stitching on like either a lot of projects, or you like monogamously cross stitch a lot on one project. Anyway, so I'm going to cross stitch on this at least, my goal is at least 30 minutes to an hour a day, depending on the day, except for Saturdays and Sundays. If I have extra time, I'll spend more time on it on the weekend. So, but I hope to finish this soon, and I hope these hoop creases come out. But anyway, I love it. I think it's pretty. Daphne hadn't seen it yet.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen it.
So, but anyway, so that's my last crafty whip. So, now, oh, and do any of you cross stitch? Like, I really want to know, because I'm like so into it right now. If you cross stitch, let me know. Leave a comment below.
So the cross stitch is probably going to be like the crochet, like how I said I was going to crochet stuff. Mm-hmm. It's probably going to be the same, like for that kind of thing.
Yeah, this is not going to. Yeah, it's not going to be. We're not going to become. We're not going to like switch from knitting to cross stitch. Like Daphne doesn't cross stitch. I mean, she can definitely start if she wants.
I don't know,
but
because then I'll spend more money on stuff, and then
yeah, and cross stitch isn't cheap. Like, I mean, knitting's not, cheap either. Like, they're both. It depends on how affordable, or how expensive you make it. But it's. Yeah. Did you know that they have independently dyed floss? I didn't know that. Now I'm like, independently dyed floss? That's amazing. But I mean, you got DMC, which is like standard and great, and it's like what 50, 60 cents a skein for DMC. You know, the independently dyed floss is like $2.50. $2.50. 50 cents to $2.50. I mean, like, and if you need 20 colors for a project, that's a big difference in cost. So anyway,
I don't know anything about this.
Cross-stitch rabbit hole. Sorry, but not sorry, because I am loving it and I will show it. Anyway, from time to time in our knitting episodes, because this is about knitting. But anyway, if you love cross-stitch, let me know. Okay.
I didn't know she was this excited about it. Okay.
I've been keeping it to myself. But now you see it. Do you see it like bursting out of me?
Yes.
I'm like so excited. Okay. So on to purchases.
Do you have any or no?
Yeah, I have one. Do you have any? Oh yeah, you have quite a few.
Okay, I'll start with this part because I didn't actually buy this, but I offered to make my family masks because they're not super crafty.
I don't know if Daphne said this before. Daphne has 3 siblings. She has 2 brothers and a sister.
Yes.
And then a mom and a dad, of course.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I've said that I had a sister because, I have a niece and she's not a sister.
I don't know if you've mentioned your brother.
But anyway.
Oh, you knit one brother socks, so you probably mentioned him. But anyway, she has 2 brothers and one sister.
Yeah, I have 2 brothers. One of them kind of knows how to knit. And the other one,
youngest, yeah.
Okay, I'll just tell a little bit about my family. But they're not like super crafty, like.
But both of her parents work for Michaels.
Yeah, both of my parents work at Michaels, and they're not like the craftiest people, but they try to be sometimes. My older brother can actually draw. He's actually really good at drawing. And then my younger brother, he draws. He's not bad at drawing either. Just like my older brother, that's what he wants. He likes to draw.
Talented in that.
Yes, he really wanted to, so he learned how to, and he can really draw. My younger brother, he can also draw, and he has tried to knit. I don't think he likes it that much, but it's okay. So, and then my sister
picked it up and put it down and picked it up. And,
yeah, I mean, we all grew up doing stuff like that. So, like, my siblings and I are all kind of crafty in some way. My parents can be, but they're not. But they were trying to sew masks, and they weren't perfect. And then I found this pattern, so I was like, hey, if you guys want, I can make you masks. And then my mom, she said, yeah, sure. So she picked up these 2 yarns. So this is Cotton Fair. So they're both from Michaels. So this is a, I can't even read this right now. It's 52% cotton and then 48% acrylic. So this is a sport weight yarn, so I'm going to have to hold it double, which is fine. So I'll get I can make 1.5 masks out of that because it takes 100 yards of worsted weight yarn. And then she also got this. It is Cotton Colors. It's from Loops and Thread.
That's pretty.
Yeah, she chose both of these, and this one is. This color is called Taffy, by the way.
Yeah, I can see that.
This is 100% cotton. So, honestly, I could make like 4 masks out of that one. But, I don't know.
That's
So, I am
soft.
going to make masks for my family because
I like the feel of that.
it's cheap. And I have other yarn in my stash that I can use to make them. So, my mom just wanted to choose her own colors, which is completely fine. So, I was just trying to make them for free. But then she's like, oh, there's this yarn that I like. And I'm like, okay, I'll make it however you want. So these are her yarns. So, yeah. And then I have like more stuff I actually bought too.
Mm-hmm.
So, patent croy. This is
You
Muslim
mentioned
patent
that.
croy. I already mentioned this. It came earlier than I thought. It wasn't
Mhm.
supposed to be here until
4
the
days
8th.
early.
Whew. So I can make the pair of socks. This is going to
Yeah,
be
for
the...
her mother's. Oh, did you say that?
Whatever. It's fine. I'm going to give it to her soon anyways. But
Oh,
so...
sorry.
Anyway, so whatever, I'll just say it now. But those socks, because I won't have them anyway, so it's fine. But those socks are actually going to be for my mom for Mother's Day. They're just plain vanilla socks.
She showed him. She's holding 2
Yeah.
colors double.
Yeah, and I needed another skein of this. So
Mhm.
that's that yarn.
Is the other yarn Painted Desert?
Yeah, it's Painted Desert.
Okay.
I don't remember the color,
Mm-hmm.
but
It was, I think, in the last episode.
yeah,
Okay.
the last episode I showed the,
Mhm.
it's the 1/2 object. But then I bought a little, it's the bag, but it's more
It's
of
a little,
like
like a little ball
yarn.
bag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I bought this because I have bags for myself.
What house are you? I'm a Hufflepuff.
I'm Slytherin.
She's Slytherin.
Anyway, so the point of this bag was because I realized that I had a bag for the baby knits, so the girl baby knits,
Mm-hmm.
and then Mason has a themed one because the narwhal bag, from
yeah.
Molly Klein is his. Then the the Molly Klein one that she got me for Christmas, I decided was for the baby, and so I bought this bag, but on the inside it's lined, and like I said,
Holden's Hufflepuff, too.
yeah, this is why it's Hufflepuff.
Actually, we're all Hufflepuffs. The entire Saint family, minus my husband, because he hasn't taken the Pottermore quiz yet.
It's only
We're
Slytherin.
all Hufflepuff. So my oldest son, my middle son, and my youngest son are all Hufflepuff. Mary Rose obviously hasn't taken the quiz yet either.
I'm pretty sure both my brothers were Gryffindor. My sister, I don't think, took it. And then my parents didn't take it.
Mhm.
But I took it, and I was the Slytherin one. And then they're like, look, you're just Malfoy. I'm like, wow, thanks. But whatever. So it's Hufflepuff because this is going to be Holden's bag. But,
Because
so,
Holden only wants a bunch of hats.
yeah, so
Uh-huh.
that's my Lions brand in there, just to show you that it does fit in there. So all he really wants are hats anyway. So I was like, I don't need like a whole project bag for him. So it's just a little one. But it's cute. And it was a surprise for him. But then it confused him because I was like, I have a surprise for you.
And he's
And
like,
then-
how's that for me?
And I was like, it's not really for you, but it's like themed for you. But yeah. So that's my new bag.
Mhm.
And then my last thing that I bought is my Mother's Day present because Holden, it's not that he doesn't know what to get me, it's just easier to let me choose, basically. But I bought this skein of yarn, and it is from Sweet Tea Yarns, which is Molly Klein Designs, and that's on Etsy. And this is the Blueberry Lemonade, I think is what it's called.
It should be on the tag.
Is it?
Yeah, it should be.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is. Blueberry lemonade. She was.
Every time I look,
She
I
knew
swear.
what she purchased herself.
Look.
It's very
But
pretty.
it's yellow, but then it has like, it looks greenish too, which is really pretty, and then the blue's in it.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna make socks out of this. So,
Yay. For socks.
Woo.
I'm starting to really love knitting socks. Actually, I plan to finish all 3 of my pairs the month of May. I'm going to do it. Oh, and I should have mentioned, because if you've been watching us from the beginning, you know that I made a rule for 2020 that I could only cast on a new sock pattern on the 1st of the month. So my new sock, I cast it on Friday, May 1st. I did not break my rule. I haven't broken it all yet. Very proud of myself. So anyway, let's throw that in there.
Oh, I want to say this. So this yarn makes, I think, you give me 2 skeins of sock yarn. Okay, so we decided that we're going to just give each other the
share our sock yarn.
We only use like 50 grams anyway.
Of the fingering weight. I don't know how much I'll have left of the DK.
Yeah, but so, unless we really want to keep it,
yes.
Obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But, so she gave me 2 balls of yarn to knit more socks, and then this yarn, and now I think I'm at I think this makes either 17 or 18 pairs of socks I can knit for myself.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Lots of sock knitting.
And how many did I finish last week? Not last week.
3.5 pairs.
3.5 pairs.
Mm-hmm.
In 2 weeks.
Pairs. Yep.
So, I can finish it, but
yeah,
that's
totally.
a lot of socks.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is bulkier yarn. Not bulky, but
you've
worsted weight and DK
worsted weight and DK, yeah. So now you've got a good collection of fingering weight yarns to use too.
So,
all right, so
lots of socks.
Here's my purchase. It's not knitting. It's cross stitch. So I'm trying to show that. I think that's good. So, I took 2 years of French in high school, almost 30 years ago. I graduated 26 years ago. So when I took French, it was 28 years ago. But I'm not going to even try to read that correctly. Anyway, but look at it. It's garden gnomes. How cute is that? So it's Jardin Privé. Opal de no.
Why are we even trying this?
Because it was fun. So, but I can tell you that means private garden, which I'm guessing is secret garden, and then that would be in the country of gnomes. Oh no, not in. It's at. O is at. So there you go. So I'm gonna cross stitch this. Not anytime soon because I don't have the materials I need to knit it. But sometime this year, 2020, it's gonna be knit after more purchases in the future. So that's all I bought. That's not all I bought, but that's all I have in my possession because I bought that next, the Clark and Elle skein and maybe one more cross stitch kit.
Everything I showed is everything I bought or was given to knit face masks.
Mm-hmm. So I think that's it. I don't have anything else. Do you?
Nope. All right.
We don't have anything really to update. We're not going anywhere. There's nothing going on. And
everyone's still healthy.
Oh yeah, everyone's still healthy, and thankfully it seems like the allergy season has passed because I don't feel as itchy in my sinuses as I was. So
the weather hasn't fully changed yet.
It's warming up.
It is. It's starting to finally.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
So
that's about it. Those are life updates right now.
Yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to say thanks again for stopping by and watching what we have to say, and we really enjoy doing this. It's a lot of fun, and so if you're new here and you haven't subscribed yet but you like what you've watched, please subscribe, and if you feel so inclined, please leave a comment. I know it takes time, out of your day to leave a comment, but it is so much fun to read your comments and be able to comment back. And if you're interested in a Facebook group, let us know in the comments and we will set that up. And if you cross stitch, let me know because I'm just curious. Oh, and I found a new floss tuber because she subscribed to us. And she has 2 floss tube episodes out. But she's also a knitter. So in her first floss tube video, she showed knitting. She showed definitely, she has 2 shawls hanging on her wall. And I think she showed a sweater. Yeah, she showed the ranunculus. And another shawl, maybe? I forget. But the name of her floss tube, if you're interested, like if you cross stitch and knit, is Stitching in the Burrow, B-O-R-O. So, and that has a play on where she lives. She explains that. Anyway, so if you're watching, hello, hi, I like your floss tube. All right, that's enough rambling. So we hope everyone stays happy. We hope you're happy and stays healthy. And we will see you in 2 weeks. Bye. Bye.